Hello everyone, back doing a second video. We're doing the second Christmas update for today's second video. So we started the Christmas countdown on Thursday, the first day of November. We've got 25 of these Christmas updates to do between now and Christmas. This is your update number 2. We're using the CFS V2 9-monthly forecast at the website metroseal.fr to bring you this update, and you can find a link to MetroSeal on the links page at Gazovitz and also within the description at YouTube. So I'll get on with that in a second. Just to say that today's first video was an epic. It was the 10th Winter 2018-19 update. The video at the moment is on the homepage. In around an hour or so's time, I'll get onto the winter updates page. There'll be a written summary that goes with that as well, so have a look at the written summary if you would like to do that, or come back and watch the video on demand if you would like to do that. It's a very epic update, this 10th winter update, with a lot of really quite interesting information. So have a look at that anyway when you finish with the Christmas update if you haven't yet seen it. So just to talk you through again what we're doing here, we are looking at the CFS V2 9-monthly forecast from metroseal.fr to try and pick out trends for Christmas. We're using the midday run of the CFS 9-monthly model. So we always try and use the same run all the time. It can't be used for cherry picking any outcome members. It's purely the way that these updates are coming out as we are doing them. The first update was fairly mild for Christmas, but then it got a lot colder just into the new year. Let's see what the CFS is forecasting for the second Christmas update, and we're going to do it right now. So we're going to start on the 11th of December. And CFS V2 today is forecasting for the 11th of December. We've got high pressure to our south and southeast, low pressure is out to the north and the northwest. We're bringing in this southwesterly wind as well as we move from the 11th through to the 12th and then on to the 13th and 14th. That's find a little bit of a battle beginning to set up. We've got low pressure there out in the Atlantic, trying to bring wet weather in from off the Atlantic Ocean. They've also got high pressure covering many central and eastern parts of Europe. That's kind of similar to the pattern we've got at the moment, actually. We're bringing up these southerly winds in between the low pressure to the west and the high pressure to the east. There could be some showery rain there for the middle of December in the north and west, but many central eastern areas would actually be dry. It's a southerly wind, so technically it's probably quite mild, although coming off the continent, there may be certainly a chill to that wind. You could certainly expect frost and fog, particularly so down in the south and in the southeast too. Let's carry on running through beyond the middle part of the month, so up to the 16th, 17th of December, starting to turn a bit stormy up to the north. A deep area of low pressure developing to the north of Scotland here as we move from the 17th to the 18th of December. Wet and windy weather then, moving into the northern part of the country. The high pressure keeps the south mainly dry. Most places would be mild here, very mild potentially in the north and the west. But remember, there will be rain and there could be gales in the north and west as well. So we're heading up towards the pre-Christmas period, and it's turning increasingly unsettled. Now we're up to the 20th of December, a deep area of low pressure diving into the north of Scotland. That's bringing heavy rain and gale force winds with it. Notice the winds are turning to the northwest, so colder air is now starting to get drawn in from the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. So cold and stormy there as we're moving up towards Christmas. This is the 21st through to the 22nd. Another area of low pressure is moving through. This one taking more rain, possibly some snow with that one in the north, the northern side of that low pressure. Now we're up to the 23rd of December. That low pressure is moving away to our east. High pressure's building out to the northwest of Scotland. The wind is turning into a much colder easterly. So as this low exits away just before Christmas, it would take rain and possibly snow away into the continent, and then the winds go into the east. So a cold Christmas Eve is being forecast here for today's second Christmas update. This is Christmas Eve with high pressure up to the north. We're bringing in those cold, actually quite bitterly cold easterly winds feeding in, and they could be bringing snow showers with them, could you believe, or would you believe, for Christmas Eve. That's Christmas Day. This is how Christmas Day looks on the second Christmas update. High pressure slinking down across the country, so it will be a cold Christmas Day with established cold air from the north and the east in the days before Christmas. So, for Christmas Day itself, a lot of dry weather, maybe some snow showers in the south with those easterly winds, but otherwise mostly dry. But it'll be cold, there'll be hard night frost early and late, and temperatures by day probably only 2 or 3 degrees at best. So a proper cold seasonal Christmas showing up on today's second Christmas update. That's Boxing Day. The high pressure is still in control, so it's still cold. Nothing has happened to stir the air up. Got all 3 main days, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day, looking cold here on this second update, although it does look as though the days of this high pressure are a little bit numbered, I have to say, as low pressure is intensifying out to the northwest. This high pressure beginning to slip in towards the eastern and central part of Europe. Nevertheless, still relatively cold but dry and frosty for Boxing Day. Beyond that, we're moving up to the post-Christmas period, so we're going to the period between Christmas and New Year, and we're moving the Atlantic in. Now, this is moving into cold air, so there's a weather system pushing into cold air here from around 27th, 28th of December. That could bring some snow with it as it moves into that cold air, and then milder air will start to break through from off the Atlantic. Actually, we never really introduced the Atlantic, so here we are on the 29th of December, re-establishing high pressure again, still fending off this low pressure to the northwest. So it is turning milder, wetter and windier for Scotland and Northern Ireland, but actually probably still quite cold and frosty down across England and Wales underneath that ridge. Okay, let's get to New Year, and high pressure continues to dominate the weather. We're up to New Year's Eve now. High pressure is in control across England and Wales anyway, so still probably quite cold. Frost and fog would be an issue, I think, for New Year's Eve across England and Wales. It is a lot milder for Scotland and Northern Ireland, though, with those westerly winds bringing outbreaks of rain. First day of 2019 looks like that. Low pressure is starting to break through from the Atlantic, so there's a weather system moving southwards, probably taking a band of rain with it, and then the milder air is piling in from the Atlantic Ocean. I'll just run you through the opening days of the New Year. So this is how the first week of January is looking. And we pulled down some northerly winds again there from the 3rd through to the 4th of January. That could bring a little bit of a cold snap once again, and then the high pressure builds back in. Very anticyclonic update this one, despite all of this low pressure, and it is deep low pressure that's in the northern Atlantic. Somehow or other, these ridges of high pressure continue to fend them off, and particularly for the south, lots of dry weather in this second update. We've gone beyond Christmas now. We're up to the 9th of January, and we're beginning to introduce a long fetch southwesterly wind, so that's turning very mild across all parts of the country, and also wetter and windier as well. And I think we'd better leave the second update there. So, quite an interesting second update. We managed to pull off a cold Christmas with this. The days before Christmas, bringing those northerly and easterly winds, and Christmas itself, although quite dry, is cold with a lot of frost and fog too. And for England and Wales, anyway, that cold weather manages to hold on, mainly dry, frosty, but seasonal weather manages to hold on right the way through to New Year. It does turn milder up in the north and the west. So this is all rather different to the first update, I have to say, that we did on Thursday. So clearly there's no particular trend here, and we'll wait and see what the subsequent updates have to say. But there we go. We've got our first, not a classic, but we've got our first sort of cold Christmas in the bank for this second update. So we'll see where things go for the third update. Right, just say that Christmas Shop is open, so if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, please go through the Amazon banners within Gav's Christmas Shop, or you can go through the search widget, the Amazon search widget that's on the Christmas Shop page. Go and do Christmas shopping at Amazon, and because you are going from Gav's Service to Amazon, we get a revenue fee. Other things that you are buying, big thank you to everybody for doing that. You'll be helping us to, support the website. Right, so that's the second Christmas update done and dusted. The third update is going to be on Wednesday. We're always a little bit spaced out through the first half of November, and then you'll notice I'm getting much, much more regular from the middle of November onwards. So the third Christmas update will be with you on Wednesday evening, same time, same place. Later on today, we're going to get the winter update, 10th winter update onto winter updates page with written summary. So come back to that later on. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.